Alright. Let me turn the music down. It seems like it's louder on my end more than it is yours. Let me turn my speakers down. Hang on a second, guys. Is this thing working? Is this thing working, guys? Sheesh. Been having a pretty tough go of it here. Hope everyone's doing well. Baconator, if you really want to take that chance and go beyond that line, you go right ahead, but understand that there are repercussions that come along with it. This is referring to what you were saying earlier. If you really want to take the risk, go right ahead, but if you end up on the wrong end of that, I feel like trash right now. If I'm being honest, I feel like trash, but I'm here. So, we're doing this. We are doing this today. What is up with this feedback that I'm getting? But yeah, I'm good, man. Well, not good, but I'm okay. But yeah, wouldn't risk it if I were you. Not to mention the frame rate. My God, the frame rate's been awful. I'm dropping frames at about 34% right now. Furious about it, too. It seems like it's getting worse with each time I use this. OBS, like, what are you doing, man? Like, OBS, come on. Like, yeah, the frame rate is awful right now. I don't know what's going on here. Like, ever since I've switched over to OBS, I've never had these problems until recently, but ever since like this last week, and it's doing it again, I'm about to already have dropped 10,000 frames. That's crazy. Hope I can even do this. Hope we can even make this work without having to restart my computer entirely. Man. Not to mention, it irritates me more and more, the fact that we have observed tornadoes on the ground and I'm having to worry about my stupid frame rate. I do not understand what the problem is here. But yeah, we're dropping frames at a ridiculous rate right now. Hopefully we can stop it soon. Be really nice if we could. And I even restarted my computer this morning, hoping that would help. That's what makes it even more irritating. We have 4 tornado warnings. This one that we're looking at, by the way, folks, is an observed tornado, by the way. Or was? Yeah, it was an observed tornado warning. I think they have allowed that to be downgraded now. No, they're still unobserved. It's this one right here. So you have 13 minutes to go for that. This is a confirmed tornado near Sorrento. It's in Illinois. This is moving east at 45 miles an hour. It's confirmed on Doppler radar. Flying debris, of course, will be dangerous to anyone without shelter. Mobile homes are a no-no in this situation. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will all occur, and tree damage is likely. Thankfully, this is mostly going to stay in rural areas in Illinois, but we also have to watch out for anyone that's on I-55 between exits 33 and 41. A hardwood tree trunk snapped. It's been a busy day, but getting home almost like 5:30, 6 o'clock doesn't help. And then on top of that, feeling like complete trash isn't helping either. Just trying to get up just to even do a stream. I really wanted to be on an hour earlier. My body feels like it's in tatters, if I'm being honest. Yeah, your area did have a chance of severe weather, but it was going to be overnight, of course. Something I wasn't going to be able to cover, unfortunately. Make sure you guys are refreshing, also hitting that like button here, because I've been going through it today. Just even get here and be live has been a challenge, to say the least. Just happy that I made it here, in all honesty. But that first tornado warning that we're looking at was 1 of 5. We have radar indicated tornado warnings in Missouri and Illinois, and also even Texas now. A little earlier, before I got on, I did see a warning in Mississippi, which has been since allowed to expire. But Lampasas County, Texas, there's a tornado warning there. We have Montgomery and Fayette counties with a tornado warning there. Of course, there's Madison and Macoupin counties. And we also have Bond, Clinton, Washington, Madison once again, and St. Clair counties under a tornado warning, and of course Randolph, Monroe, and St. Genevieve, Missouri county. I don't know. Okay, maybe we're starting to stabilize on our frame rate here. You don't have to have a fully classified severe thunderstorm warning in order to do significant damage, Baconator. 50 mile per hour winds can do plenty. I can tell you this from experience. You've been outside in a 30 mile per hour wind gust, so I mean, you know what it's like. So just imagine that being ramped up a little bit further, and you can still get some pretty big damage. There's no question about it. You even have 70 mile per hour tags already. Also golf ball sized hail with this as well. Wow. This was a little earlier. This was while I was still on the way home from work. I can't believe I got off work so late today. I don't know, because we saw some here recently in Georgia that were very similar. 50 mile per hour gusts can do it, especially if your area has seen plenty of rainfall. Or if the trees were old and dry rotted, that can also play a factor. There's a number of things that go into it, trust me. Just be around longer. That's all I gotta say. You'll come to find a lot of things that are surprising, and it wouldn't take as much as what you might have originally thought. 'Cause I remember one time, many years ago, I saw a 100-year-old tree get taken down by 40-mile-per-hour winds. So like I said, it's not impossible. Not probable, but definitely not impossible. Oh, crap, here we go again with this. Yep, it looks like one of those evenings where we might not be able to get chaser feeds. Because every time we do, the frame rate just goes away. It just goes to nothingness. Make sure you guys are hitting that refresh button. I'm sorry that this is going on again. I don't understand. I keep thinking I fixed the problem, but for whatever reason, it just reemerges. We'll be making changes to the setup hopefully within the next couple months at the very least. At the earliest, maybe a little longer. It depends on how things pan out here, unfortunately. Didn't even get to update any widgets or anything of the like either, so it's just been a crazy day. Again, really apologetic for this late start. I at least wanted to be here, but at least we've accomplished the mission. That mission at the very least. Yeah, I can see that in the pictures. $10,000 frames drop. That's freaking ridiculous, man. I don't understand what could be causing these problems still after all this time. What more do I have to do, man? Like, it's freaking ridiculous. Bought this computer to avoid this very situation, and somehow we're still here. Anyway, enough complaining about it. Nothing I can really do right now. I'm going to just try to ride it out as best as I can. If it does really get bad enough, just let me know in the chat, and I'll try to see if maybe I can restart the stream or something, because this is all sorts of messed up. Still dropping. If we do get disconnected, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That'll also be another way you can get back to this stream once we get it back up and running. Hopefully, if it does go down, we won't have too much of a delay in between the restart time. That'll be the goal, at least. Looking at Brandon's stream, though, looks pretty ominous over here where he's heading here. I can see some motion in those clouds there for sure. Yep. So that pretty much confirms exactly what I was saying there. I think right in there is where that new circulation that he's referring to is. This little bounded weak echo region there. You never want to see one of those when you have a line of storms, because that's most likely where a tornado can form. Usually when you get those kinds of storms, or get these kinds of cells to pop up in a line, or kinks, the tornado usually isn't brief, but it can be pretty strong. So not something to be taken lightly. Just a reminder that these linear storms have the ability to produce tornadoes. you're tuning in, by the way, for the first time this evening, a little bit of roughness going on with the stream here, but we are live covering severe weather right now. Multiple tornado warnings, a lot of tornado warnings right now, actually. We're sitting at 5 at the moment. Actually, now we've bumped up to 7. Some of these are continuations of previous warnings here. Some of the warnings are about to expire, and new warnings have gone out ahead of them to take their place. New warning polygons, I should say. There is an observed tornado tag on one storm right now. That storm may have lifted momentarily. There is a chance that it could recycle. So, plenty that we're keeping track of here. So make sure you're hitting that like button to stay updated on this stream and future streams. And hopefully we can make some upgrades here soon. That little kink in the line is only getting stronger. It seems like it's taking in a lot of inflow. And there goes Brandon's feet. He's struggling right now in that area. Missouri's not great when it comes to cell phone reception, not bashing the state or anything, but cell phone reception here is known for being a little bit sketchy at times, especially as you get closer towards the river. Same with the western part of Illinois here. So not surprised to see some struggles here and there. Surely he'll get back on here within just a minute so we can get a view of the storm. Uh-oh, stream's starting to fall off again. By the way, folks, if you're just tuning in for the first time this evening, make sure you are hitting that like button as we're trying to cover more severe storms. This is actually the 5th day in a row I think I've been streaming, because we streamed Sunday for the Northeast. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, of course, we streamed as well. So yeah, this is the 5th day in a row. Wow. It's crazy to think about. Almost a full work week's worth of streaming here. Maybe not as many hours as some other guys, but we have a daytime job to go along with that, so it's kind of one of those things. Either way, appreciate all the support. We haven't heard of anything major over the course of these few days either in regards to damage at the moment. Well, actually, the Salem storm on Tuesday was a little bit more intense. But considering what it could have been, though, I feel like it could have been far worse, and what we got isn't quite as bad, maybe. But for whoever was affected, of course, you're my thoughts. Seeing a slight increase of rotation over here towards Wit. Seeing a little bit of rotation over here towards Fillmore as well. We'll have to see how that pans out here. Also see some increased damaging wind potential, maybe even up to 70 plus miles an hour. The thing with these linear events, they're going to be quick hitters, but yeah, while the threat of tornadoes does exist, damaging winds are actually going to be the main threat here. Margot DeWall, is Brentwood, Tennessee going to get any bad weather? Some storms seem possible. Let me go ahead and check where Brentwood is in Tennessee. Yeah, there's going to be some stronger storms tonight. The severe weather threat over towards that region drops off a little bit, but even so, with that in mind, just keep an eye on the weather overnight. I wouldn't say anything incredibly dangerous. I think you're like right on the edge of a slight risk, which is a level 2 out of 5. The worst of the weather is definitely going to be off to your northwest. Yeah, you guys are in that level 2 slight risk. So you might get some action. Most likely it would be some damaging winds, if anything. So just keep an eye out as we go throughout the evening here. We'll be here for a while to cover a lot of this weather. So just keep an eye on the stream. Hopefully we can keep the stream running here. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties today, but we'll try and see if we can work through it. But yeah, just stay tuned. I got you. You can jump in periodically if you want, if you have stuff to do too. But yeah, I'll be here though. My pleasure, Margot. My pleasure. I enjoy doing this. Like, I literally got off work and I'm a landscaper. It was about almost 90 degrees today, and it was a close to 10-hour day. So if I didn't love doing this, I probably wouldn't be online right now. I'd probably just say the heck with this, I'm going to sleep. But no, I enjoy this a lot. I enjoy the opportunity to connect with people too, which is really cool. Oh, the frame rate's dropping again. Also, make sure you guys are refreshing the stream. I'm trying to work with my frame rate as best as I can to try and keep things going as smoothly as possible. But some lag will occur here and there as I'm trying to pull up stuff. If it does, just like I said before, make sure you refresh the stream. Just so you can stay up to date here. It's very easy to fall behind if lag comes into play, or buffering, whichever one you want to call it. Me being a gamer nerd, I tend to lean more towards lag or latency, but buffering is another term. I think YouTube uses the term buffering actually. We do have some good news though, that the observed tag tornado warning has been allowed to expire now. So now we're only dealing with radar indicated tornado warnings for the moment. Keep in mind this of course can change, so we'll be monitoring this very closely. But also, even if you don't have a tornado warning, if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now, you have been reported to be causing damaging winds. So with these storms having that history, it's only more reason for you to make sure you're getting into your safe spot, especially if we have these higher tagged severe thunderstorm warnings, like the considerables and maybe even a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, because those can do the same kind of damage as a small tornado. Not something you want to mess with for sure. And this isn't only going on over here towards Illinois, Kentucky, and also Missouri. We also have to keep an eye out over towards Mississippi and also towards Texas. So pay close attention if you happen to be under a warning. Also, if you're just tuning in, you're liking what you're seeing with the channel, definitely make sure you're hitting that like button too. It gives us a chance to get out to even more people. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning just to the northwest of Nashville actually now. Little line segments formed over here. This is going to be heading towards Springfield, Tennessee within the next little bit here. I think the strongest winds are actually going to end up staying to the south. And this is a very fresh severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. Yep, here it is. Cheatham and Robertson County in Middle Tennessee. This is until 7:30 Central Times. So this is moving northeast at 35, 60 mile per hour winds as of right now. The same towns that we mentioned, of course, are in the path of this storm. You need to be getting into your safe spot. Definitely heading indoors at the very least. See if we can get Corey's feed up and look at it for a little bit. Seems like the frame rate's stable for now. Second it drops, I'll have to probably cut it off. I think Corey is going to be blasting north towards this southern tornado warning here. We go back to this radar site while we're at it. One really good thing, and one thing I kind of feel spoiled by right now, is that we have a lot of radar sites to work with. So even if we can't get eyes on the ground here, at the very least, we'll be able to get a good view of the storms on radar and kind of get an idea of what they're doing. And I can break it down for you what I'm seeing as well. But basically the main hazard with the tornado threat, you're mainly going to be looking for these little kinks in the line here. These are inflow notches. Or sometimes they'll even evolve into what's called a bounded weak echo region. It's basically, it would almost be like an area just like this right here, except you would be able to see it spinning on the loop here. But let's say you're looking towards this area here. This is most likely where a tornado would be in this line segment. And then this is why there's also so many tornado ones. You see a bunch of them just embedded up and down this line here. And there was enough rotation in there for it to be considered as capable of producing a tornado. And this is another good map that you can use to kind of see that there. Rotation isn't incredible with any of these right now, which is good news, which means this will kind of keep the tornado threat somewhat at bay momentarily, but these can quickly ramp up and wind down pretty quickly. Such is the nature of these, sometimes you almost even embedded supercells within this line segment here. This northern storm actually did have a tornado warning, a confirmed tornado on it earlier. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about with the bounded weak echo region here, because you can see how this is starting to spin in that counterclockwise motion that we're known for on this side of the world. And then, see, like I said, right where those little inflow notches are, you can kind of see a little bit of spin try to develop there. Most of these tornadoes, whenever they do form, will be weak. Will most likely be weak, but they'll also be very brief as well. But you can get a strong one every once in a while. So it's important not to let your guard down if you're in an area of interest tonight. Because I'll be honest with you, was not really expecting to see a tornado warning earlier over here towards Mississippi, but that happened. And then Texas, we were kind of expecting a chance at a couple of them, and we have them right now. But the threat was mostly going to be dominated by damaging winds here. Frames are dropping. Sorry about that, guys. Working on it. I don't know what has been causing these issues as of late, but I'm working on trying to fix it. Each time I think I keep fixing it, it appears I have not. Even then, for those of you that have stuck around through it, I appreciate your patience also. Just make sure you hit that refresh button. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm trying to do everything I can to get this fixed up. And it happens the most whenever I try to have secondary screens up. I have multiple screens on the setup and can't really use them, which is crazy. I wonder if maybe it's a Windows update I'm needing or something. I couldn't tell you right now. But everything else that I can manually do, I've pretty much done. If anyone is a computer whiz, you have some insight for me, definitely let me know. I'm happy to hear any feedback to try to help resolve the problem. Still appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, thanks for your patience again. It means a lot. Also, make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Alright, here we go. Nice little surge in viewers there. Thank you again, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. In case you missed it, we have a lot of severe weather ongoing in the Midwest right now, over towards, now looks like southern and south central Illinois. Multitude of tornado warnings right now along this line of storms here. We're mainly going to be looking for these little inflow notches like what you're seeing over here that are going to be our points of interest right here. Tornadoes are going to be most likely to form there. I don't expect them to be long track. They're going to be pretty brief, but they can still be very strong and dangerous at times. Also, do not downplay these severe thunderstorm warnings, because with these lines of storms, the threat of damaging winds increases, and with damaging winds, you can almost think of a small tornado occurring, but on a much larger scale. Like all up and down this line, there's potential for damaging winds as well. So if you end up under a severe thunderstorm warning, you should take it seriously, almost as if it's a tornado warning, because we've had plenty of reports of wind damage today as well. So again, make sure that you are staying weather aware in these areas here. This is expected to continue to move off to the east here, and then storms are possible to fight, or more severe storms are possible even outside of the pink areas here, which is our severe thunderstorm watch. So like I said, definitely try to stay on top of the game, on top of your game today if you're in these areas. Also, if you could, make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Definitely want to try to get this out to as many people as possible to help with the warning process. Share button, hitting that share button also helps too. If you are experiencing buffering, I'm trying to do what I can to work with that, but I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight. So if you are dealing with buffering, I apologize. I'm trying to work on a solution as we speak. But again, I appreciate everyone's patience, especially with the late start to the stream. Because I'm also, while I am a huge weather nerd, I'm also a regular person with a day job too. If you do end up starting a buffer, just make sure you hit that refresh button so you can be at real time, so to speak. See a storm merger occurring here. Might be a potential tornado that could develop over here just east of Ramsey with this look right here. We're gonna go ahead and actually check out the velocities here. Yep. And it's with this cell a little further off to the north of Ramsey, actually. I do think Ramsey, the cell near Ramsey, can also do that as well. But this northern feature right here definitely has a look of increased rotation here for sure. Like I said, it's always those little kinks in the line and those storm mergers that you have to watch. Because you see where that red is kind of touching with the green right here? That's a stout sign of rotation right here. And then you can kind of see more broad examples of rotation over here towards Fillmore, for example. And then there's other examples over here, like this area over towards Carlisle. That is another case of maybe some brief rotation that's looking like it's weakening at the current time, thankfully. But there are multiple areas up and down this line where we have to keep an eye out for maybe a quick little spin up. Hey, we've gotten to 11 likes. Appreciate you guys a bunch, by the way. See if we can't maybe get to 15 before the stream's done tonight. I mean, pretty sure we can, but you never know. There's some new cells over here to the south that are a little bit more discreet. We're going to have to keep an eye on those in particular. Because if these can be rooted to the surface here, there might be a chance of a couple of these trying to sneak off and produce a couple of tornadoes. I do think that there will be other storms that form to the south and eventually interfere with these more discrete cells. We'll get some collisions here, and these will become a part of the line. But if that occurs, that might lessen the threat of tornadoes, maybe even a significant tornado. But if this storm, for example, right here can flourish, then we might be in for a little bit of trouble here. And this is going to be heading towards the Tennessee border here within the next little bit, or the Kentucky line here for the next little bit. This is still in Missouri right here, this sector of the line. Want to say again, I appreciate everyone that's tuning in. Make sure, like I said, make sure you're hitting that refresh button every once in a while just to make sure that you are up to date here. So our current count of tornado warnings is still 6 polygons right now. We have over 10 severe thunderstorm warnings from the looks of it. Or we did. We're down to 8 now. Number will fluctuate as we go forward here. This storm over here towards Ironton is looking pretty impressive here. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. And also keep an eye out for any storms that are also potentially rotating along the main line here. But I'm concerned about the potential of this discrete cell maybe rooting to the surface. If it roots to the surface, this could be problematic here. This storm's gotten pretty far away from Corey, so I'm wondering if this storm has gotten his attention and maybe he's going to jump on that one. Because there's a chance, because honestly, I would be willing to jump on it myself if I was chasing. This ends up becoming a splitter, and this storm continues to move forward here. It's going to have to be watched even more closely here. Even some broad rotation with that already, too. Once again, as I mentioned before, though, always have to be on the watch with these storms within the main line. Quick spin-ups are possible, but like I said, that discrete storm to the south always has the more palpable tornado threat if conditions are right, which they kind of are towards this region here too. We'll have to see how this inflow notch holds up. If it holds up well, especially as it's producing this hail core here, might be something worth watching. There's been an uptrend in the warning, by the way, now. This is a brand new warning that's popped up. This is tagged for 70-mile-per-hour winds, but it also has the potential to produce now up to ping pong ball-sized hail. Let's go and look at this in a loop here to watch how this has evolved here. Kind of want this to go to the next phase here and kind of grow out in size a little bit, have that hook push back a little bit more. That'll really give me an idea of what we're looking like in the atmosphere here towards this region here. That's also a good sign that this is rooted to the surface and will be able to mature enough to maybe produce. But that hail is also pretty close to that updraft right now and towards that inflow, so there is a chance that that hail could actually undercut the storm. The storm gets undercut, the tornado threat drops off momentarily. Also, to anyone that is tuning in once again for the first time this evening or has been tuning in for a while, make sure you're hitting that like button. See if we can't get to 15 likes next little bit here. Also, make sure that you hit that like button so that way we can get out to as many people as possible with this setup tonight. Not as much of the weather community is covering this setup here on YouTube. Seems like we're a little bit better on our frame rate right now. Also keep you guys updated on any new meso discussions that the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center issue, just to kind of give an idea of what we could expect as we go later down the line here. The last one was issued 35 minutes ago for Texas, where they issued the severe thunderstorm watch. Go into a wide view and you'll see the area right there. This is over towards Killeen and Waco. We'd go over there, but right now we're kind of booked up with all these tornado warnings ongoing. And these have been going on for a while now. Pretty consistent number of tornado warnings for in the same areas for a good while now. And we could see more of those as we continue to go forward here, with the storm threat expected to continue over the course of the next few hours. Really, I don't expect this threat to really drop off until maybe about 10 or 11 o'clock Eastern. So we could at least be dealing with this for another 3 hours or so. And keep in mind, we also have to watch that new development further to the south here. Speaking of new development, looking at this storm here, it looks like it's on the right track here to maturing, for sure. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on this storm over here to the south of Ironton. Yeah, also, if you guys could, especially if you're tuning in for the first time this evening, make sure you're hitting that like button. If you're seeing the channel for the first time, you like what you're seeing, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button as well. What we're watching with this storm in particular right here is this little inflow notch. If this storm matures, this could drop a tornado itself. Question is, will we get to that point or not? We do see another storm catching up to it, so if there's any interference here, we'll have to see how that pans out. Because it seems like this storm could potentially be getting sucked into this little cluster and consolidating into a line here. We're going to have to see which result pans out. Have a couple of severe thunderstorm tags with 70-mile-per-hour winds. Those will be considered considerable severe thunderstorm warnings here. This is one that's heading towards Picnickyville. It's an interesting name. Picnickyville in Illinois here, and then also we have to watch towards Mount Vernon over the next little bit, and then Murfreesboro as well, and then eventually maybe even towards Marion, Benton, and Spring Garden. You're gonna have to watch out as this line is heading towards you guys next. This southern cell here does show signs of rotation still. In fact, the rotation actually looks better than it did in the last couple scans here, so I'm a little surprised that there's not a tornado possible tag with this, but we'll have to see how the weather station over here. Let me see which weather station it would be. I think this would still be under St. Louis jurisdiction, but Paducah could theoretically take over on this one as well. We'll have to see what those offices end up thinking and hypothesizing, but at the very least I'd be willing to put a tornado possible tag on. I don't know if I'd call a warning just yet for it. So theoretically, even though this says we have 3 tornado warnings, we only really, in theory, have only 2. There's the one towards Shelby County, and then we have Fayette, Marion, and Effingham counties. But this is an extension of the warning for Marion, Jefferson, Clinton, and Washington counties. So this playlist is about to end. Anyone that enjoys metal, I am going to switch over to a different one. These are guitar covers that I've done here. We're going to switch to some DMCA free music. So with that in mind, of course, try to see if we can expose some underground artists here where we can, of course. Just telling you, might see a little lag spike in the next little bit here, so make sure again that you're hitting that refresh button as we continue to go forward here. Okay, that definitely warrants a tornado possible tag there. Look at this. We're going to go ahead and put that in a loop here. At least towards the upper levels, we're starting to see some rotation. Maybe it's not translating down to the surface just yet, but there is something that I'm taking note of here. This might get a tornado warning in the next 10 minutes if this continues to progress in the manner that it's doing right now. Also, give me one moment here. I'm going to switch over to that playlist in just a minute. I'm back. I also had to go to the restroom real quick. So that's also what took a little bit extra time, but no harm, no foul here. So once this song ends, we'll switch over to that playlist. Trying to make sure I have my remote here so that way it's loud enough for you all to hear. Again, hoping everyone's having a good evening, by the way, here. I still think this deserves a tornado possible tag. The hail threat's gone up. I actually want to go ahead and take a look at the vertically integrated liquid here. This gives us a better look at ice crystals here within the upper levels of the atmosphere. Huge blob of maxed out activity over here too to go with that. So everything's kind of verifying with that. Even go ahead and look at the hydrometer classification here. Yep, and there's large hail right there. So it pretty much confirms at this point that there is clear potential for some large hail here. The inflow notch isn't looking as impressive though, so maybe this might not get the tag. These storms live and breathe just like us in some ways. Can't talk, but they can definitely let you know what they're on here by looking at the radar in particular. And that's the playlist over. Oh, that's louder than I thought. Hopefully that's loud enough for you to hear, but not too loud. This is by Tor Fagerheim. Sounds like a German musician. Uh-oh. This is a good song here. Still sitting at our 3 tornado warnings right now. Man, I can't believe how many frames we've dropped. Almost 20,000. That's crazy. Like I said before, still sitting at 2 tornado warnings right now, or 3. There's still a little inflow notch here, so there's still a chance that it could spin up. We look at our velocity here. I'm not expecting to see incredible rotation, but definitely evident rotation, especially over towards Sandoval and Odin. So this is going to be heading towards Salem in the next few minutes, so you definitely want to be in your safe spot right now. I'm trying to get the frame rate back, guys. I apologize. I don't know what's going on here. It's like it's fine 1 minute and then the next minute it isn't. It's frustrating. Hopefully this will help bring some of it back. Try this right here. Let's see if I can. Like I said, I'm trying to find any way that I can to manually fix it. I think I might have. Again, apologize that we're dealing with all these problems. It's really irritating for me too. This rotation over here towards Odin here is looking really impressive now. Looking a little bit more robust here, so definitely need to be keeping an eye on that for sure. I don't know why we're still dropping so many frames, dude. This is ridiculous. There's just no reason for any of this. Again, guys, I'm sorry that we're dealing with so many tech issues here. I'm trying to do everything I can to get it fixed without stopping the stream. Keep hitting that refresh button if you can. I'm gonna do what I can here to fix this. Alright, let's try this. Okay. Nope. Alright. Alright. Well, let's see if that helps. Looks like we've downtrended some more in the tornado warnings. We're down to 2 of them. Struggling with our frames still. Sorry, folks. It's just doing its own thing tonight. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm trying to figure it out. I've shut down just about everything except the essentials. Just ensure that it's nothing else. Trying to see if there's any other operations on here that are not essential that's causing issues here too. Okay, I think I might have gotten things under control now, finally. I hope so. Again, sorry for that wait. I'm doing everything I can. Like I said, I'm not a major computer whiz, but I'm getting better at it with time. Looks like we've stabilized for now. Decent little bit of rotation over here towards Forsyth and Illinois. It won't be long before these storms get to Indiana, but the good news is we can actually expect these storms to weaken by the time they get towards Indiana. The southern part of the storm front is really going to start to take over because we're going to start to lose our instability towards this region. All right, it seems like we're back. We got the ship righted here finally. Sheesh. Hope I can breathe easier. I sure hope I can breathe easier. I'm trying. There's still some signs of rotation with this southern storm over here. It's a messy storm, but there's still a couple of inflow notches here. So definitely something that I would say we still need to pay close attention to. Try not to keep this too loud, though. Also, to anyone that's tuning into the channel for the first time this evening, right above on this screen on my head here, definitely hit that watermark here. That'll lead you to the subscribe button. Like I said, we do computer whiz stuff here every once in a while to try to fix the stream, and we also cover the weather here. We're also a metalhead. We also love listening to heavy music and playing it too. So a lot of interesting stuff going on here on the channel. Also, if anyone has any issues with their stream buffering, definitely hit that refresh button and it'll get you back up to current time. Because after that buffering, you can fall behind pretty easily. Let's see if there's anything else on here that might slow me down here. just when I think that we weren't gonna have a problem, we are having a problem. Daggone it. I think I know what some of the problems are now, and I might be able to fix it. Uh-oh. And we've run into some huge problems here now. Wait, here we go. We're coming back. Maybe. If I end up getting disconnected, I will try to get back on here. Just give me a second to work through that. Alright, I think I'm... Okay. Just tried something else. I think that might have helped. Hopefully it did. Again, sorry I'm having so many problems here. I think my computer might have caught a small bug that I'm trying to still work through. Okay, we're starting to stabilize here now, finally. I think I may have found a permanent fix to the problem. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I haven't been able to talk about the weather. I'm just trying to get this problem resolved so that we don't have anything else to worry about. Also, we do have another tornado warning here. This is back towards Effingham. I'm gonna sound the siren for that one. Again, sorry. I'm trying to do the best I can here. You'd think I would be playing computer tech tonight. This is Brandon Kopic heading towards that storm. And we're losing frames still. If you guys could keep refreshing, just do the best you can. I'm, like I said, really sorry that we're having all these issues tonight. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We're just struggling tonight with our my computer here. definitely be doing some updating to the computer tonight here with some of the changes I ended up making. Alright. Done all I could there. Hopefully that helps. If we could just get this to stabilize, that would be awesome. And yes, we just tried to fix my computer real time. It's not quite working, but we're on our way. Let's go ahead and look at that. Come on, baby, stabilize for me already. Done all we can do. Still have a tornado warning possible attack, or tornado possible attack with this storm further to the north. Okay, let's try this. Moment of truth. See if we can stay where we are now. Nope, still struggling. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not sure what to do here. I'm trying my best. That's all I can tell you. I'm trying. If there's any computer techs in chat somehow that are still watching, if you got any tips for me, I am all ears. I've exhausted everything I can think of other than this, which I really don't want to have to do. This seems like it keeps getting worse. Oh my god, what is wrong with OBS tonight? Just want to know what I did to my computer that could have made me deserve this. Just want you guys to know I'm not making this up either. Like, this is infuriating, I'm not gonna lie. I may have to just restart the stream here. Because this problem is not getting any better. Which is crazy to me. If we get disconnected, I'll start over. It's really all I can do at this point. Again, I'm sorry, guys. I'm freaking frustrated with this. It's absolutely ridiculous that this keeps happening. I'm exhausted just about everything I can think of here. So it looks like we're losing our tornado warnings, one of our tornado warnings here. We're only down to one now, finally. We'll see if... See if we can't get the stream to work better as we continue to go forward here. I feel like I've been paying more attention to the stream than I have the weather. Again, I really apologize. That lets you know I do pretty much all of this myself here, so just a one-man operation for the most part. Some people I do talk to when it comes to weather, like some of the mods that I have here, but as far as how the stream operates, that's 100% on me. Take full responsibility for this one. Alright, here's the Princeton radar, so we can look at our lone tornado warning here. Oh, they finally put a tornado possible tag on that one to the south here. I've been waiting. I've been saying for the longest that they should have done that. It's good to see that they finally did it. Huge severe thunderstorm warning just got issued here. Tornado possible tag along with this to go with the 60-mile-per-hour wind threat, and also some large hail up to quarter size. Might get a new influx of tornado warnings here in the next little bit. See a new weak echo region forming over here towards Xenia. Looks like Kentucky at this point, or no, this is still in Illinois. But this is getting close to that Illinois-Kentucky line, and maybe even Indiana as well. But yeah, this little notch right here we need to watch, and then that little secondary comma head over here could have two bounded weak echo regions that are potentially capable of producing tornadoes. May see tornado warnings there for within the next little bit here. So we're going to jump in between the Princeton and Paducah radars here so we can get a look at these other storms over here to the south as well. Alright, so sorry guys again. I'm trying everything I can. I've tried everything. I think I've exhausted all my options as far as fixing the stream. If it goes out, then of course we'll fix it. We'll try, hopefully we'll have it fixed in a way to where it's not an issue. But this is not going according to plan, that's for sure. It's just been that kind of day, honestly, for me. Still have that threat for golf ball sized hail with this storm over here to the south. Got to be on the lookout still for a tornado to go along with this, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. And if you can, make sure you're hitting that refresh button. Don't know what else to do for this freaking stream, man. 22% frame drop rate, man. Sorry if I sound pissed off. I am. It's just crazy. I'm not gonna lie, I think I might probably take tomorrow off after today's stream. Well, actually, I'm lying. I'm probably gonna just post a regular video, but no live stream for a little while, probably. I'll probably need a break from that. This has been a stressful experience here. Again, I'm really sorry that we're dealing with this. You and I both. Hopefully the music is good though. Look at that storm though. That is beautiful. Look at that structure. Wow. What a beauty. Come on. Again, sorry folks, trying to do everything I can to get this stuff straightened out with my computer here. Also trying to uninstall some stuff that isn't necessary on here. Look at that lightning. Still an incredible storm over here that we're looking at. This is that storm that we were looking at earlier that had potential to drop a tornado. It still does, actually. This is right here where that inflow notch is. It has matured, but it is kind of congealing into that main line. But if it keeps that updraft open, it still has a chance of producing. Hopefully, if any of you can even see me at this point. We only have one legitimate tornado warning right now, and that's the one that Brandon and Vince are on. And they can't see a thing right now. This is the tornado warning storm, and this is the storm that Corey's on further off to the south here. Oh, there it goes. Looks like they went the tornado possible tag on the severe thunderstorm warning versus keeping the tornado. So this isn't gonna, like I said, I don't know if this is gonna continue on for too much longer. The whole